Pope Francis has flown to the United Arab Emirates, becoming the first pontiff to visit the Arabian Peninsula. The Pope will spend less than 48 hours in the UAE, where he will meet Muslim leaders in an effort to promote interfaith dialogue. He's described the visit as an opportunity to write a new page in the history of relations between religions.
Pope Francis met with the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Youssef bin Ahmad al-Uthaymi, at the Apostolic Palace. It's the first time that the former Saudi minister has visited the Vatican. According to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Twitter account, the aim of this meeting is to strengthen the relationship and mutual respect between Muslims and Christians.
Welcome back to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. In world news, the Pope is currently on his way back to the Vatican after a 3-day trip to the Middle East, one that might have just set the stage for new peace negotiations in the Holy Land. Not bad for 3 days' work. Let's go to CNN's Ivan Watson live in Jerusalem. Ivan, the Pope invited the presidents of Israel and the Palestinian Authority to visit the Vatican for an interfaith prayer of peace. Both accepted. How big a deal is this?
Well, it's a big deal in the sense that it's the Vatican now, and the Pope trying to wade into the very murky, difficult waters of Palestinian-Israeli peace process. That's one. Second, he's gotten both the Israeli and the Palestinian Authority president to, in principle, agree after peace talks basically collapsed last month. So that's another positive step.
And Ivan, tell us about the significance of the Pope's stop at the wall that divides Israel from the West Bank.
Well, it doesn't appear that it was planned, and I can tell you I was in Bethlehem when he did that. The Palestinians were delighted. I mean, they were thrilled that the pontiff had taken this moment, had actually laid his hand on that wall next to graffiti that was scrawled on there.
Pope Francis welcomed an interreligious group from Argentina made up of 15 Jews, 15 Muslims, and 15 Christians.
The Pope met with the leader of the main Islamic NGO, the World Muslim League. This Mecca-based organization rejects violence and terrorism and promotes dialogue. It also works in the apologetic defense of Islam and finances some Muslim communities. After the meeting with Muhammad al-Isa, Pope Francis greeted the rest of the delegation. As a gift, the Secretary General gave him this sculpture, a symbol of Islamic architecture and a desire for dialogue. The Pope gave him a pen that imitates the columns of St. Peter's baldachin. He said he hopes Muhammad al-Isa will remember this meeting when he writes messages of peace. According to the Saudi press, al-Isa appreciated the Pope's aversion toward those who identified Islam with extremism or terrorism. Also, according to a Vatican press release, in the meetings at the Vatican, it was reiterated that situations exist where freedom of conscience and of religion are not entirely respected and protected, thus applying an urgent need to remedy this by renewing religious discourse and reviewing school books. The interreligious human fraternity meeting took place in a special atmosphere. It was at dusk in front of the monument of the founder of the United Arab Emirates, Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. The Crown Prince of the Emirates, along with the Sunni spiritual guide and the Pope, began the meeting with this expressive gesture. The three arrived at the site holding hands. The Crown Prince opened the meeting, then the Sunni Imam Al-Tayyib condemned manipulating religion for war and terrorism, which has done so much damage to Islam. During his speech, the Pope denounced the use of God's name to justify violence. Pope Francis said he came to the Emirates as a brother who seeks peace with other brothers. He said the name of the Creator who unites Christians and Muslims cannot be honored if every human life is not guarded. He also added that religions must immediately take action in this way. The Pope closed his speech by asking the participants in the meeting to do what unites them all: pray. Pray for peace. Then, together with the Grand Imam Al-Tayyib, the Pope signed a joint declaration for universal fraternity. It was an unprecedented and ambitious gesture. They made a list of rights that they will promote throughout the world. It says faith leads a believer to see in the other a brother or sister to be supported and loved. Some 700 prominent figures from all the major religions participated in the Human Fraternity meeting. The event was organized for the Year of Tolerance in United Arab Emirates.